ADRA continues to provide aid to thousands of earthquake victims in Turkey and Syria. Hundreds of Adventists march for religious freedom in Guatemala. An innovative Adventist school opens in Bolivia. New curriculum for children's Sabbath school is now being tested around the world. These and other stories of faith and hope coming up on ANN. Alleviating the suffering of thousands, transforming and touching individual lives, showing love through action, bringing hope amidst chaos and tragedy, grief and desolation. This has been the focus of ADRA's humanitarian work in Turkey and Syria after the 7.8 magnitude earthquake shook both nations on February 6, killing thousands and leaving many others affected. Many of its partners, including the Seventh-day Adventist Church, are also committed to helping these nations impacted by the disaster. Let's take a deeper look at what ADRA is doing in Syria.
ADRA is today distributing canned food, bread, water and wipes here in Al-Badr Mosque in Bustan Al-Qasr area. People are staying here in the mosques as a collective shelter. There are people staying in schools as a collective shelter, people are staying in churches. Here in Al-Badr Mosque there are 70 families. We are distributing for 210 individuals. We are now in Walid bin Abdul Malik School in Salihin area, Firdaus neighborhood. This is now a collective shelter for people who their houses are damaged and now they are sleeping here in the school for the past 3 days. Yesterday ADRA distributed here food items including canned food, bread, water and wipes as well for families here, which is around 95 families. This is around 475 individuals. ADRA also distributed in a school nearby. Its name is Nizar Haj Shaban, which is also considered now a collective shelter. We distributed for around 60 families, which is around 300 individuals.
Now let's go to Antakya, one of Turkey's cities most impacted by the disaster and where ADRA is currently working.
Okay, just a quick update. We are on our way to Antakya. It's basically Hatay, where they got really affected by the earthquake. This morning we contacted Zoltan, the country director for ADRA Hungary, who is in the region right now and who's actually himself helping with the search and rescue. They sent us a list of the things they need, such as drills, hammer drills, and some drill heads. So we purchased those from a store and we are taking them. We have about a little bit less than 2 hours left and we're driving. Hopefully we'll make it without any issues.
Since the day of the disaster, ADRA has been distributing food, water, clothing, and essential supplies to people in need. They are also sheltering displaced families and implementing water, sanitation, and hygiene projects. The ADRA rescue team has been working in the ruins and successfully rescued 6 people, including 2 children. Visit adra.org to learn more about ADRA's disaster relief efforts in Turkey, Syria, and other countries, as well as how you can support ADRA's global humanitarian mission. About 1,500 students have begun classes at the new Colegio Adventista de Bolivia, a brand new modern and innovative Adventist school in Bolivia. It features classrooms with upgraded technology, science labs, and even an outdoor recreational area. Interestingly enough, this school is located inside the Adventist University of Bolivia in Cochabamba.
On Monday, the 6th of February, more than 1,400 students from 3 levels of education began their school year on the new Seventh-day Adventist school called UAB, located inside the Adventist University campus. With excitement, the students eagerly walked down the halls and checked out the various instructional needs, the labs, and the recreational areas, all designed for a quality educational experience.
The school is just beautiful. I really like the classrooms. They are brand new. I also like the outdoor spaces and that every teacher has their own classroom.
Me ha gustado el colegio. I really like this school because it's so large and beautiful. However, what got my attention is that you go to new classrooms for every subject. The teachers teach you well and are really kind to the students.
This school is large and the buildings are new, modern, and updated for the teaching needs of each teacher. Each teacher has their own area with their own resources to teach their subject. It helps the quality of our education.
On the first day, the parents could accompany their kids to class, especially the little ones still in preschool.
I love how beautiful this school is, the classrooms and the grounds. Really, it's just beautiful.
The truth is, I am thrilled. This is the first time I have seen this type of school structure with so many options for the children and young people to enjoy their educational experience, which will help them in their learning.
The library is my favorite spot so far, and I hope it motivates the kids to read and even the teenagers to come and enjoy this. It's clearly a space where students can feel comfortable. I think this library will keep their attention and get them more focused on the books and have a break from technology.
I haven't had a chance to see the whole school, but what I've seen so far is just an incredible structure. In Cochabamba, we have never seen anything like this before.
I am so surprised. It is a marvelous and beautiful school. The classrooms are just spectacular. It is wonderful. Our kids will have an excellent education here. I am sure of it.
The local news agencies came out to cover the news of the opening of this new school.
I am really impressed with how new and modern this school really is. It is so different from the other schools we are used to seeing. This school seems to offer more of an American education structure and environment. I am very impressed.
Well, first, I am impressed with the campus. I've been walking around and noticed that everything is brand new. Still, the most valuable aspect is the innovation. From the labs to the classrooms, especially designed for each subject taught, such as math, biology, chemistry, and physics. As I talked to the students, professors, and administrators, I could see that the education system here is very distinct and focuses on the growth of your youth beyond academics. The moral and spiritual values taught are also invaluable to the education here. Another great thing is that you see here measures up to the education in other countries, and is an example that many other schools here in Bolivia should follow. Thank you for the UAB students. Thank you to the UAB Adventist School and the Adventist University for opening the doors of this new school to us. We invite parents and students to come and be a part of this experience and discover a new world of education. It is innovative and showcases the educational change that is needed here in Bolivia for a globalized education. Here, Bolivian students are prepared to study at any university worldwide. Thank you and congratulations to the Adventist School UAB.
More than 1,000 Seventh-day Adventists marched through the main streets of Guatemala City, Guatemala, to highlight their constitutional right to religious freedom.
They carried signs and banners to the city's Municipal Hall building in the heart of Constitutional Plaza to commemorate what the church observes as International Religious Liberty Day every year in January. Recently, the government of Guatemala granted rights to those who do not want to take tests or exams on a day they consider holy. Magda Urizar de Lopez, Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Director for the Church in Guatemala, said that the new policy benefits not only thousands of Adventist students, but students of other religious denominations as well.
A new curriculum for a children's Sabbath school is now being tested around the world. You will hear more about this and other news after the break.
you ever wondered if there was more to life? Do you have big questions with hard-to-find answers? The Discover Bible Guides are Hope Channel's free gift to you. These 26 beautifully illustrated guides cover major themes of the Bible and answer some of life's deepest questions. Visit hopebiblestudy.org or call 888-446-7388 and begin your journey to discovery today.
Alive in Jesus, Sabbath School Curriculum. This project, which replaces the GraceLink curriculum, is being tested during the first 3 months of 2023 throughout 80 churches around the world, including 3 churches in South Korea. Under the leadership of Pastor Kim Young-eun, Children's Ministry Director of the Adventist Church in Korea, these 3 churches are leading the pilot study. The churches are fully implementing the primary level curriculum while working with parents and a volunteer team as they provide research feedback and data. The Alive in Jesus Bible curriculum seeks to equip and empower parents, caregivers, Sabbath school teachers, Sabbath school leaders to model and foster a thriving relationship with Jesus and the children and youth in their spheres of influence. To learn more, visit sabbathschoolpersonalministries.org/aliveinjesus. Madison College was a model for Adventist missionary colleges all around the world and was the inspiration for the development of ASI, a membership-based organization of Seventh-day Adventist laypeople who are enthusiastic about actively participating in the church's worldwide mission. It also paved the way to help us prepare to face changes in our global society.
Taking a look at the work that is being done by ASI pioneers around the world at present compels us to ask about the organization's past. How did the Madison School from its humble beginnings morph into a network of mission-minded entrepreneurs and professionals? In order to answer this question, we need to take a further look at the story of Sutherland and McGann and pick up where we left off, looking at an image of 2 men facing down an impossibly run chunk of land and taking a monumental leap of faith. After some haggling and cajoling, Sutherland and McGann purchased the Ferguson Nelson property for $11,000 and took over possession in October of 1904. The school, which they named the Nashville Agricultural and Normal Institute, opened its doors to students not long after, with a cohort of just 11 students. Sutherland and McGann's unique vision for the school incorporated several different aspects, including a school, a sanitarium, and a farm. It came to be known as the Madison School and operated as a self-supporting organization and sought to train, equip, and deploy self-supporting missionaries. The school operated like a large family where everyone was expected to participate in the daily operation of the farm. It was quite normal to see McGann, the college dean, operating a team of mules plowing the field, while another teacher would drive a wagon into the nearby town to sell freshly churned butter made by E.A. Sutherland, the college president. Students who couldn't afford to pay cash for tuition could work on the farm in lieu of payments. This meant that the college had to raise its funds by selling produce or by the generous donation of patrons. Students were expected to work 6 hours a day in one of the college industries in order to meet school expenses. The majority of students coming to Madison expected to be teachers or health workers in rural communities in the South, and about a year after the school started, the first missionaries went out to set up their own outposts. Groups of Madison alumni banded together and formed several small, self-supporting colleges that were fashioned on the Madison model. These schools serve their local communities by offering numeracy and literacy classes for the local children, as well as health education for the adults. By 1915, there were 39 self-supporting groups spread across Tennessee, Alabama, and North Carolina, forming a network of innovative, self-supporting missionary startups, making inroads into their local communities. In many ways, Madison set the stage for innovation in mission in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And not only that, it also facilitated and empowered lay-driven mission initiatives. Years later, when Adventist Laymen's Services and Industries, better known as ASI, was formed, it too embraced these same core values: mission, innovation, and self-sacrificing commitment, all driven by an empowered and well-equipped laity. At the heart of the Madison model were a few key principles: the importance of faith in God's word and sacrifice, the importance of innovation and entrepreneurship within the context of mission, and the importance of an empowered and engaged church membership readily sharing Christ in the marketplace. When you look at the Madison model, you cannot help but think about the modern day startups and entrepreneurships. In what ways was it similar to these creative industries and businesses? In what ways was it different? And what can we learn today about the importance of innovation in mission? But there's another aspect we need to consider. Thrown into this mix of innovation in mission are the inevitable statistics that we need to face. According to the United Nations, 55% of the world's population now live in urban areas or cities. That's just over half of the world's population crammed into the confines of major cities. But there's more. Almost 58% of the world's population now has access to the internet. In fact, we find ourselves going online more and more in search of information and answers. And finally, only 50% of the world's population have access to adequate healthcare. So in a nutshell, just over half of us live in cities. We have more access to the internet than we ever have, but almost no access to adequate healthcare. Given all of this and considering our unique mission as Seventh-day Adventist, how can innovation in mission prepare us to meet the changing face of global society? How can these statistics prepare us to meet the millions who so desperately need to hear the gospel?
We're going to take a short break, and then we'll meet a team that shares the good news about Jesus through digital means. We'll be right back.
What's your focus? Are you in the habit of negativity, despair, and even self-pity? Our brains reshape themselves according to what we think, feel, and expect. I'm Vicki Griffin, host of Living Free. Join me for Your Internal Environment, an episode that will give you a new perspective.
Smoking, diabetes, and obesity may shrink your brain. As if there weren't already enough good reasons to avoid smoking and keep your weight, blood sugar levels, and blood pressure all under control, a new study from the University of California found that these risk factors in middle age were linked to potentially dangerous vascular changes in your brain, leading to faster drop in brain volume and declines in function up to a decade later. That's a fact. But there's hope. This study adds to the evidence that good living preserves mental abilities, and that there are things we can do in middle age that can have effects 10, 20, and 30 years down the road to improve cognitive health. So don't wait. Walk, drink more water, and improve your diet. A healthy retirement starts today.
An online prayer and Bible study initiative for reaching the world with the gospel of Jesus through multimedia technology. This is the aim of the Digital Evangelism Initiative team. The team, which works for the Adventist World Headquarters, met in Manila, the capital of the Philippines, to share experiences and learn about new and effective ways to share the gospel in the digital realm.
More than 3 billion people are considered least rich globally, and over 7,000 people groups are considered unreached. This is more than 40% of the total population. How can the word of hope reach the whole globe with this huge problem that the world church is facing? This is where the Digital Evangelism Initiative comes into the picture. The Digital Evangelism Initiative is an online prayer and Bible study initiative that actively uses multimedia technology to make the gospel accessible to the digital environment.
We had this one guest, and we prayed for her, and she became a regular guest in our Facebook page. And she was from Spain. And after that, after praying for her, she came back and thanked the team for praying for her. And then the team invited her to join our fellowship, our Sabbath fellowship, every Friday. And she also joined our prayer war room. So she became a regular prayer warrior as well. She helped us pray for others, even if she was not yet baptized at that time. And then one day, just last year, she came back to our page to report and to, share with us that she's already an Adventist member. So that was really very transforming and very inspiring.
Digital Evangelism Initiative is generally referred to use the digital technology and also the online social media platforms to spread the gospel of God. So we can do it without the creatives, but we have the creatives. It is digital production unit. So they help to produce more content. So it is like sharing and producing videos, podcasts, images to share in the online social media platforms so that many people can reach it.
It started in December of 2019. Pastor Sam Neves called that in November and wanted to form a team of digital missionaries who will be working for the social media platforms of the world church. I scouted 153 people all over from the Philippines to complete the two teams, the digital production unit and the community management unit. The digital production unit is composed of 7 teams. We have a team of video editors, graphic artists, writers, web developers, SEO, social media specialists, and voice-over artists. And while the community management unit, it is composed of 2 sub-teams, the immediate response team and the online pastoral care.
The Digital Evangelism Initiative is continuously soaring new heights in the digital ministry as it explores new strategies to reach people for Jesus. As the world shifts full gear transitioning to the most advanced technology available, let us pray for creative missionaries who never cease to create an influence to the world's vast digital space. This is Kyle Gandalera reporting for ANN.
The Adventist University of Central Africa received 13th Sabbath offering funds to build a multi-purpose hall. Used mainly by students for meetings and programs, the building hosts the community for conferences, events, and due to its size and space, was able to remain open during the pandemic to be a place of worship to God.
These hills in Kigali, Rwanda, offer a beautiful view of the city. The land was acquired by the Seventh-day Adventist Church from the government to relocate from their old campus. On these 22 hectares of land, the Adventist University of Central Africa, or AUCA campus, reopened in 1996, only 2 years after the genocide that took place in 1994. This campus offers 7 programs: More than 3,000 students are enrolled here. In addition to offering top-quality academics, the school equips students with Christ-centered education. A space to worship is important for the students' spiritual experience. Thanks to your contribution to the 13th Sabbath offering, they have a place to engage in fellowship as a student body on campus. In 2010, they received 13th Sabbath offering funds to build a multi-purpose hall that can hold 2,500 students. This building is used mainly by students for meetings and programs. It also hosts the community for conferences and events like weddings. Each Sabbath, this space fills with worship as the campus comes together to praise God. This multi-purpose building has been such a blessing to them, and it's hard to imagine not having it.
This will be a very big issue because we need this every day, almost every day, especially on Sabbath and during the week when you have to gather many students together and talk to them. We need this, especially during the week of prayer, because every semester we have a week of prayer. Yeah. And also we baptize from here.
When COVID-19 hit the world, most of the churches in Rwanda closed for mass gatherings, and services were held online. However, this church was able to stay open due to its large size, which allowed social distancing.
We were among the churches that were spared even during the time when many of our churches were under lockdown, because for having big space, even the authority which could visit us, they said, for you, we don't have any problem with you, you can always meet. So it was a blessing for us to have such a facility.
The students and faculty can still have fellowship while following safety guidelines. This multi-purpose building is a testimony of how God is still in control in difficult times. Please pray for the students and faculties at the Adventist University of Central Africa. The support from your 13th Sabbath offering was a blessing to them. Thank you for giving to mission.
Thank you for watching ANN. Join us next week for more news from the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Did you know the Seventh-day Adventist Church has a YouTube channel where you can watch ANN Video, ANN In Depth, and plenty of other amazing videos on prophecy, health, and Bible study? Just go to YouTube and search for the Adventist Church. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you never miss a new video. And remember, leave a comment or a prayer request. We have a team dedicated to praying for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Before we say goodbye, we'll leave you with some good news from the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 21 to 23. It says, "Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." That's our program for this week. And remember, you can always visit adventist.news for daily news and videos. Until next time, when we will have more news of faith, love, and hope. God bless.